And welcome everybody to my first live webinar in some time. And I am joined by the fabulous Caro+mccourtie. And the subject is paid to train and put those challenge skills to use. And I just want to spend a couple of minutes here, and Caro is going to take us through a presentation. But I wanted to really set this up for you guys because I just really think it is so important a process. The key thing, and I was just writing an article about this yesterday, that when I was, I had a spectacular, and I'm saying that very sarcastically, start to my entrepreneurial career. I decided to do a magazine, which, as the old joke goes, if you want to make a small fortune, start out with a large fortune and start a magazine. It really was a disaster, was the only way to describe it. And I barely got out of it. I was close to being made bankrupt. And so in order to earn money to pay back the creditors, I took a job with a local suburban newspaper selling ads to, fruit and veggie shop owners in the western suburbs of Melbourne. And let me tell you, it wasn't pleasant. It was tough. I really, really hated it. And guess what? I just wasn't that good at it. And so that was a very rude introduction. And it dawned on me after doing this for 12 months and being really, really, really miserable that, you know what? If I'm going to sell stuff, why don't I sell something I love? And I know this is going to be a complete shock to all of you listening, right? But guess what? I loved Apple computers and Macs. I know you are shocked. This is a long time ago. And so I thought, well, maybe I can sell Macs and computers. And so I did something which I didn't realize at the time was very smart, but now, having had the chance to employ literally hundreds and hundreds of people around the globe over the last few years, I wrote to all of the Apple resellers and sent a bottle of wine to the person who owned the company saying, look, I'll work for free for you as long, because I desperately want to be able to sell Macs. I love Macs and I think I can sell a lot of them. And within a week, I had a job with Business Computers of Australia, and I was, if I do say so myself, an amazing seller of Apple computers. I sold bucket tons of them. And it's because I loved it and I loved what I do. Now, this brings me to today and speaking with all of you, because some of you may know, some of you may not know, I've been mentoring students personally for the last 2.5 years, and it's been incredibly rewarding. But there's some common things that I've observed having working so closely with people. And one of the philosophies that I suppose I've developed out of working so closely with people is this pay to train concept. Because it strikes me, and I'm pretty sure most of you listening to this call will be not full-time in your internet marketing business, that you'll be doing it in some sort of capacity, from working in the evenings or on the weekends, part-time, or just even learning. And your day job, for what it's worth, may have absolutely nothing to do with what you are wanting to do, which of course I'm imagining, if you're on this call now, that being, having an online business, being involved in internet marketing, being able to do that full time is what you want to do. Makes sense. Best business in the world, as far as I'm concerned. So in dealing with these mentoring students, I realized that, hang on a second, you're doing this job, which is paying the bills. It's paying the bills, but you don't like it, and you're sort of stuck in it. And it's not adding any value whatsoever. So 40 to 60 hours a week is not helping you grow in any way, shape, or form with what you want to do as your goal, which is work and create your own online business. That seems to me a bit, as we say down here in Australia, skew-whiff. It doesn't seem quite right. And an idea started formulating in my head. And I realized that, we talk to a lot of people we talk about outsourcing, we talk about using and building a team online. And what we don't sort of say so much is, look, if you're going to work for somebody, why don't you do something which is directly contributing to being able to build your own business? Because it was something else I realized after dealing with 173,000 of you lot through the challenge over the years. And the big thing that I wanted you to realize is that the great idea, the idea that is going to make you that income replacement, that is going to enable you to be full-time, guess what? It doesn't happen in a road to Damascus type experience where all of a sudden the clouds part, the sun rays shine down on you, angels hand deliver the idea. It doesn't happen. And it certainly doesn't happen when you are sitting on your butt just learning stuff. The good ideas only ever come when you're taking action. It's sort of a physics thing. The good ideas only come when you're actually neck deep doing internet marketing. And if you're doing internet marketing on a very part-time basis at the moment, because let's face it, you've got a busy job and all those sorts of things, you've got commitments, totally understandable, then this struck me as a real problem. And this is where paid to train came from. And there are many ways to do paid to train, but here's what it is. Here's the concept. And most people have never even thought of this before. If you're going to earn money just, to pay the bills, then why not earn money doing internet marketing? Now, there are multiple ways to attack this, and we're going to talk about my absolute favorite one today. But why not go, if you want to do offline, an online marketing, work for somebody in the business, or even better yet, work for yourself, helping people to do internet marketing. And instantly people say to me, oh, but I don't understand it. I haven't done, I don't feel like an expert at all. Trust me, if you've done the first few days of the challenge, you are already 95% more qualified than anybody else to help people online. The amount of garbage that poor old local businesses are getting told are just insane. And so this concept, and this is what I want you to think about right now as you're listening to Caro and I talk you through my favorite way to get paid to train, is hang on a sec. There are lots of jobs. There are lots of opportunities to provide businesses to make money to get all of this happening, and I can actually work full-time while I'm doing this, while I'm learning, while I'm waiting for that big idea to come, and I'm training all the time. It's like being a full-time actor or a full-time baker. In fact, this is the crazy thing. In any other industry in human history, over any period of time, people have done apprenticeships. You get internships. You learn the ropes working in the business. Then why are we creating an online business and hoping that you can learn it by not actually doing the business? It doesn't make any sense. It doesn't make any sense. And I want to show you the way that I've seen more people, without a shadow of a doubt, make that transition from working full-time for somebody else, working for the man, to being able to work part-time for the man and eventually full-time for yourself. And with that, I want to introduce Caro, and Caro is going to turn on her screen with a bit of luck, and we will get cracking on this presentation. We've got time for question and answers after the webinar, so I encourage you. I'm going to be watching the questions as we go through and making notes of any good ones to answer, and we'll really take you through all this. I hope you enjoy this. I hope I've got you thinking already that, hang on a second, if I want to create an online business, there are plenty of ways for me to actually earn money while I'm coming up with my right idea, while I'm training. I can be paid to train. And if I'm going to make that money to pay the bills, why not make that money doing something that is totally worthwhile? So, Caro, are you with me?
Oh, I am indeed, Ed, and I just couldn't agree with you more with everything that you've been saying. So I think the first thing is, can everyone hear me all right? Just want to check.
Well, I can, and that's all that matters.
Yeah, exactly. Yes, you can, Tina. Yeah, hi. Oh, fantastic. Oh, yep. Okay, we've got that. So, Now, I won't be checking the questions too much when we're going through, but I know Ed is, but I'll definitely be doing a Q&A at the end because I really like to interact with you guys. But first of all, hi. And this whole presentation is around getting paid to train for the reason that businesses really, really need your help. And I'm sure by the end of this, you're going to get a greater sense of how much that they do. So tell me, who would like to get paid for what they know? Just if you could just put yes in there. Fantastic. So, do you think that that's possible for you?
I hope so. Well, this is going to be a very short webinar.
Exactly. Well, I can tell you it absolutely is possible. I'm doing it, and I know other people that are doing it. I've got mentor students as well that are doing it. So this is absolutely a reality. You do have to work though. I'm going to talk all about that as we go. But first of all, I want to say a big hug and thank you for, spending your time here. So I really do appreciate that. And my intention to you is to give you value. And I hope also confidence in your own abilities to go out there and get paid to train yourself. So what you're about to learn either are the 7 roadblocks to success and how to remove them. Now, for those of you that stay on to the end, you will actually get this in a PDF form. What local clients need and want, why local clients really need your help, and how you can actually get paid to be a local stroke offline consultant. So I'm going to interchange with that language. Local consultant, offline consultant means the same thing. So who am I to say this? And that's my cousin Ed impersonation. My background is I've had 8 years brand marketing for multinationals around the world, and I've lived and worked in different countries. I've had 5 years, and I'm going to make myself sound so old, 5 years senior account director at top advertising agencies, and that's what that means is like TV, magazine, and radio. So I've worked in that as a suit, as they call them in agency terms, and also executive coaching, marketing consultant, and trainer to CEOs, partners, and business owners. So I left the corporate world to set up my own coaching and consulting business. And then since 2005, I fell into online marketing thanks to ed+dale. So that's when I first met Ed and bombarded him with a barrage of questions, and I became a business owner and an online niche or niche marketer. Also,
I'm going to help you out again right now, Caro. A lot of us are seeing a black screen at the moment.
Oh no!
Your lovely slides. So, can you just double check that?
Okay. So what we may do. No, but you'll see that we might have to go to plan B. See, this is what and we're going to have to go to the PowerPoint.
Oh, this kills me.
Oh, sorry, Ed.
You're seeing, this is just seriously. I don't want to tell any of these people now what we've got here. Seriously, all go away. I can't do a presentation with PowerPoint.
Can you see? Can you see this? All right.
It's perfect. It's fine. Please stay. It is worth it, even though it's PowerPoint. It's still it's still vaguely worth it. It is vaguely worth it.
I tried to do the keynote thing for you. So now you're not seeing a black screen?
No, you're good, Caro. Go for it.
Okay, well,
I'll just weep quietly on you.
I've been a business owner, an online niche marketer, teacher of online marketing, which I absolutely love, and also an offline consultant to local businesses and a mentor to others that are wanting to and are going into local business. And why I went, oh God, this is a problem when you change from Keynote to PowerPoint. It doesn't always translate properly there because I have a little aversion to small eyes.
Well, people are used to my spelling, so this is positively a step, right up in the.
This is payback for me using PowerPoint.
Exactly.
So yeah, with why I moved into offline consulting is really I saw a major opportunity there, and I started to delve into it in 2008 because I could see, whilst I had some excellent niches, I could see that it was harder and harder to actually break into that area of online marketing, and I could also see that Google were going more and more local. with their, because it's all about, from a Google perspective, it's all about the best user experience. And I just saw it as an opportunity that I wanted to explore. And when I began exploring it, it really yielded fantastic results for clients. And really from there, I've focused entirely on consulting with local businesses. So here's just some of what I've done in the past, and brands I've been involved with, and you'll see the challenge up there. And I'll just go through these quickly. It's just to, I suppose, show that, my experience and everything. So nice things said from business owners, what students have said in the past, from mentoring clients, and more nice things, all to the end result that I've got a big hit from all of that.
The
now
photographer, who took that photo? That is an excellent photo, except for the bowl.
Well, not right like that, but yes, thank you, Ed. You might have been responsible for that, because I use it everywhere.
It's a sideline.
Yes, good sideline. So I wanted to actually show you some recent invoices, so I can actually, and this is all from one client. So if you see the first date there, and it doesn't come through as clearly on the PowerPoint as it did in the keynote, but there, so that's for 12,000, I think it's 364 there. First half billed on August the 5th, but a total of just under 12,500. There's a smaller amount for 1,200, another one for 1,300, another one there, you'll see it's 14,500, and another one for 4.2 thousand. So we're into this year now, and another one there for just under 12,000. So from August 2001 until today, that's $46,000 I have billed one client alone. So that's $5,750 per month just from one client. So who of you would be happy to get that from one client? You can just give me a heads up.
Are they using Windows? Are they a PC or a Mac business? Do they use PowerPoint?
They are.
I'd probably even be happy with that amount of money if they were using.
Yeah, look, you don't really want to know the answer to that, Ed.
Yeah, no, I don't. Let's continue.
So yes, I've tried, but they do use.
People here are pretty keen.
Yeah, they do use Gmail as their email client, so I have managed to get them onto that as well. So, and with that client, I'm doing more now than just their online marketing. I'm also doing their offline marketing. Now, granted, I do come from that background, but essentially, I don't think that you need to limit yourself that way. I've moved from a service provider, which I was first time I worked with this client, to now a trusted partner. Now, that can happen for any one of you, and it was all based on, I wanted, my whole intention with them is to provide value. And I have to say that all of this has been achieved without my own website. I focus more on, it's still under construction, and it might be like that for a while. So I've managed to earn that with, and that's just one example of clients. I've got others as well, without my own website. So whilst I'm a big advocate of branding and everything like that, and certainly logo and branding is one of the first things I do, I hear people use as a reason why they can't do it is because they don't have a website. Well, that's just under 50,000 in 6 or 7 months, and don't even have an active website up and running. But I do really focus on delivering value to my clients. And again, here's from that same client at turn of the Christmas New Year, just thanking me for all the work that I'd done and reinforcing that he wanted to work with me this year, which is what we're doing as well. So for you guys, imagine if you got paid to train, that your knowledge had value for others. Hint, it absolutely does. And imagine if you worked the hours you wanted from where you wanted to, and you're your own boss, and you absolutely loved what you did. But is that your reality now? I hear people and they feel that they don't know enough, or they're scared. They're scared of failure. They're scared about not being able to get a client, of doing it wrong. wary because you've been burned before, you've been online and big promises are made, and I can tell you I'm very blunt about that you do have to work hard when you with anything online. I've worked damn hard as a niche marketer, and I've worked damn hard as a consultant. So, you know, being online is not a way to avoid working hard. What it means is that you have the autonomy to actually work for yourself and call the shots. Or you may feel that it's too risky. Well, you know, life is full of risks in many ways, but I think that this particular business model of offline consulting is a very, very solid business model. It certainly has been for me. And I'd say that going into this side of things is much, much easier than you think. And this is what I want to show you. I want to show you how you can get paid to train. And the thing is, what do business owners really want? They want grassroots, they want long-term strategies and implementation. They want the gold standard, stuff that's not risky, won't get them banned, and is legitimate. It's conservative, it's not the bells and whistles, and I'm really going to drive this point home because I think this makes it easier for all of us. It's like they're wanting the foundational stuff. And this is because they have a real business, one designed to be around for a long time, not one that they're hoping to make a quick buck overnight. And business owners understand the importance about building foundations. And also, and I'd say legitimate business owners understand that things take time. Another comment I hear from people is like, oh, but you know, they want to be on the first page of Google, you know, overnight. Well, of course we'd all love, you know, things to happen overnight, but when you actually talk to a business owner and educate them and inform them, they respect that because you're the expert in your field. So it's often we put on ourselves this pressure that we have to deliver something in this short space of time. But a business owner in any form of business knows that it takes time to build a business. So it's going to be exactly the same online. So I'd say immediately release yourself from that pressure that you have to deliver results overnight. Now I know in the US culture, I think even more than as an Australian in the UK, there's a lot of pressure on now immediacy. At the same time, I believe I'm speaking to everybody here that you're adults, that you're over 18, and it's really about managing the client's expectations, and that is a requirement of you as a consultant. People know what they know, so if they have a perception, you just need to educate them and let them know what the reality is. And that is that things do not happen overnight online, and if they do, they're not going to last for more than a few nights. What business owners aren't interested in are these game changer strategies or the latest tool or technique. Certainly not in what I call stage 1 or stage 2, which is the setup stage, which is building the foundations. And there's so many businesses out there that do not have stage 1 or stage 2. Maybe in what I call stage 3, when they've got a really good, solid online, you know, foundation base built. You may introduce some more, you know, dynamic strategies. But again, what I'm suggesting here is you creating the foundational stuff for them, the platform for them, which is exactly what the challenge teaches you. And then having said that, I will say that what you do for clients, for local businesses, is slightly different to what you've learned in the challenge, just how you make it, the look and feel and everything like that. I'll talk more about that as we go through. So, you know, this is really important, this message, because we're in the internet marketing niche or niche, and we're marketed to continually. We get told the latest, the greatest, the quickest, game-changing, and I saw something, and honestly, it really did trigger me and make my blood boil, and that 16 seconds, that you could get clients in 16 seconds. Sorry, but that's just complete BS. A business owner is not going to choose to work with you in 16 seconds, not a responsible business owner, because these are decisions that affect their business. So a lot of these game-changing strategies that do sound wonderful, I know I've been sucked into them. I've worked with somebody that was really into this whole, I suppose you call churn and burn type of marketing. And, you know, it made me feel so uncomfortable because I come from a very traditional corporate or business background. And I could see that these strategies might get fantastic results in a short term, but they're not long lasting. And I saw this person burn through their clients as well. Whereas, you know, my clients, you know, they tend to, I've got a history of having long-term clients because when I say conservative, I'm always coming up with ideas for their business, which any of you can as well. But I'm thinking about foundations, about doing it the right way. Because a lot of these other strategies are based on beating the system. And, you know, look at the picture there of Larry Page and Serge. I mean, I don't think I'd like to take those guys on. You're not going to win. And we know what happened to the Winklevoss twins as well when they tried to take on Mark. I heard on a TV program, just shows that not everybody knows who Mark Zuckerberg is. They showed a photo and they called him Mark Zucker. So there you go. So what business owners really want, again, grassroots, long-term strategies and implementation. They do want leads. That tends to be a common reason why you know, they're prepared to talk to us, because they're looking for more leads for their business. And also market leadership. My biggest client came to me not for leads. He came to me, or we worked together with market leadership. So that's really what their main driver was. They felt that their first comment to me was, we have no presence online. There's conversations happening in our industry, you know, online, and we're not privy to them. So again, leads and market leadership, in my experience, are the two major reasons that businesses are looking for. So my attitude is go back to basics. Give business owners what they want and need. Please resist these game-changing strategies. Please, because, you know, we all get wowed by something that seems dynamic, but go gold standard all the way. Google's about gold standard. Facebook's about gold standard. There's still a lot of exciting things you can do based on it being gold standard, as opposed to things that ultimately are based on trying to beat the system. And some ideas of things you can do for them. Keyword phrase analysis. So many businesses don't even know. When I chat to business owners, I say, oh, what, you know, keyword phrases are you targeting? Their eyes roll in the back of their head. They don't even know what I'm talking about. So again, that's something, you've done that, you know, in the challenge. So that's something you can offer them. Now, I do approach it slightly differently to how we did in the challenge for local. Having said that, the challenge training is, everything I do is based on my initial challenge training. I don't think I'd be where I am today if I hadn't had that training. So I am a huge advocate of it. And, you know, I've sometimes had people say, oh, yeah, but, you know Ed. There was a time when I didn't know Ed. So
That's
it's only through positive...
That's an absolute disadvantage. That's an absolute disadvantage in most... I will probably handbrake you and hold you back.
Oh, yeah. So you can offer them that. Something like a 10-page website. Use WordPress. Now, I'm a big fan for outsourcing, and I think even as challengers, now you can do it yourself if you want to, but even as a challenger that you feel that you don't have a great amount of experience, you still don't have to do it yourself. You have enough knowledge to actually get somebody else to do it for you, and you project manage the process, which for my money is you know, I find a lot more enjoyable and means that I've got more time to work on other clients' businesses. You can offer mobile-friendly versions of their websites. And again, it is a different type of website. It's not a direct copy and paste of their current website. But so many businesses don't even have that. You know, you search on your smartphone for the website and you have this horrendous experience of trying to scroll around, or, which is actually a godsend, the Flash, you either see stark white or stark black. So, you know, Flash really has provided a huge opportunity for you, again, to create a mobile-friendly version. Google Places, another great opportunity there. A client blog, social media marketing, Facebook page, Twitter, look at all these things, LinkedIn. Now, LinkedIn, you must probably not as familiar with, and it's certainly something that I think is very, very powerful for businesses that are what we call business to business. So their customer base are other businesses as opposed to a B2C business, which is a business that's customer base is a consumer. You know, there's pay-per-click for businesses and AdWords, Facebook, you know, SEO, you know, on page and off page. Now, you know, the challenge teaches you brilliant SEO and great gold standard stuff. None of this, you know, game-changing stuff that's going to get you punished for over-optimization, which is, you know, what's happening online at the moment. You know, you really don't have to look hard to see Google Places really poorly done, or, you know, they're not even in places. I've worked with businesses that weren't even in places. Their business website could be really poorly done. They don't have a website, or they don't have a mobile-friendly version. You know, SEO, which is a recurring income opportunity for you. You know, no on-page SEO. Oh, there was actually, I should see if I can, I'll come back to it. I remember I chatted to some guys from my local gym, and I've told the story a couple of times, and I just went and looked at their website again yesterday, and they've made some improvements from a traditional marketing perspective, but they had spent this, I think they thought they've got a really good deal at $5,000 for a website, which is, you know, a good price for a website, but it had zero SEO, absolutely no on-page SEO and no off-page SEO. So they've spent $5,000, which I think is a fair price for a website, you know, something that's 10 pages or that. But there was absolutely, it was not optimized in any way. Social media, again, a recurring income opportunity. A lot of businesses have a poor social media presence. They're trying. I was looking with a mentor student the other day, and we're looking at some potential prospects for them. And we saw this site that they've done, and it looked so much like a do-it-yourself type job that for somebody that had a little bit of not as much understanding as you guys have. And they did have Facebook on this page, but then when you clicked on to go onto the Facebook, it just took you to one of those developer pages on Facebook, so it didn't even take you to the Facebook page. Things like that are all opportunities. Or a lot of businesses don't even have social media presence because it scares the bejesus out of them. They don't understand it, and they, you know, most businesses I chat to now get that social media is here to stay because mainstream media are now using it actively, but they're still scared. They're really scared. So again, that's opportunity. So people say to me, how do I get clients? Honestly, anything can be an entry point, and it's really about you guys having the attitude that to look for opportunities. Like even in my language, when I've taken you through those comments, they're all opportunities. I look at them and I see opportunity, opportunity, opportunity. So it's about looking at anything as an opportunity, or everything as an opportunity. And then you can upsell from there. 80% of the work comes from 20% of the clients. Now, my favorite strategy is the under the nose strategy, and this is really how I tend to get my clients. They're people that I come in contact with casually, and I am genuinely interested in their business models. It's just something that fascinates me. I ask questions. They say the power with the people that ask the questions, not with the ones that make the statements. So it's really about asking people about their business, and I don't ask them questions about their business in a way to hope that I'm going to get them as a client. In fact, if I feel that they don't fit my profile, like these guys at the gym, I feel a personal trainer isn't what I'm looking for me in a client, because I'm very much about value per customer that they charge, and a personal trainer charges about $90 a client, and a lot of them have very lean businesses. So I'm feeling like they're not going to be able to consistently afford my prices. Certainly I could do something one-off, but I prefer to have a business where I've got longer-term clients. But I'm still interested in their business model, and that's how I found out about what they're doing. So, that's a way. Another way is networking. Or you can pick vertical markets and target. and places to go to those vertical markets. If you go into Google Places, if you think about, you often hear people say plumbers and electricians, the trades are good. But there's also, I'm on a bit of a wicket at the moment of business-to-business type models, because again they tend to have a high value per customer because it's or client because it's another business paying. So it's looking maybe at vertical markets there. It's there's doctors, surgeons, growth and cosmetic surgeons and holistic health and things like that. So there's so many ideas for businesses. And in fact, just chatting to people, I was talking to somebody the other day, and they were saying that their daughter's going into being, in fact, two people, and then a friend of mine that's moved overseas was saying they're going to do the same thing. They're going to become a consultant for businesses in the country that they're moving into, and being a consultant of how to export, import, and understand the cultural differences and things like that. Now, that's a small consulting business. Certainly there's something that you could do for people like that. So I didn't even know that that business model existed, or that type of business existed. Another way to find out is check if they have mobile-friendly sites. I actually just grab my iPhone and I just type in their domain name. That's probably a quicker way. I could use the online thing, but I like to go through the whole mobile experience, and it tells me absolutely for real whether they have a mobile-friendly site or not. That's another way. I check also to see if they've got advertising in local newspaper and magazines. What that tells me is that they're they're spending money on their advertising. So again, it's like, well, they're likely to spend money on their online marketing. I think, in my opinion, and I've chatted to a lot of people and I've trained a lot of people, I think we get it into our own mind how hard it is to get clients as opposed to in reality. Because businesses really do need you. And you need to be confident and have a desired help. It's like that, if you're desperate, I remember coming out of university, and it was a really bad, a few years ago now, really bad job market. And I used to go to interviews and I was so desperate for a job, and I never got one. And I was just like, because even though I was able to articulate, I had that desperate energy of, oh my God, I hope they like me, I hope they hire me, oh, I so need the money. And I remember my father changed the tyre for this guy that was, on the side of the road, and he happened to be the CEO of Morgan and Banks, which was a big recruitment firm in New Zealand at that time. And so as a thank you, he agreed to meet with me. And his piece of advice was that, I suppose best way to put it is fake it till you make it, that do not let on that you're desperate for a job, that you really need, and that an interview is a two-way process, that you need to ask them questions and show interest in them. Well, I'd say the same holds for when you're a consultant and you're looking to win business. It's not about you in that moment. It's not about, oh gosh, I really hope they hire me, I really need the money. It's like I've learned from that really, I suppose, young age. It was a lesson I've taken through with me through life, is that I focus on what's going on for the other person. And then people like to be listened to. They like to be, understood and everything like that. So then they become more receptive. And more often than not, they'd say, oh, look, could you please help me? And that tends to be how it works. But I do want to reiterate, please don't expect it to happen in 16 seconds. Please don't expect it on the first contact. This check move theory, which Ed's talked a lot about, and I think it's gone up to like 13 points of contact. And what that means, not to freak you out, that could be like an email and then a follow-up call, messages left. It's just really times when your name, opportunities where your name is put across to them. So it could be you leave a message and you leave your name, caro+mccourtie, or something like that. But really with clients, this whole thing about that if this is going to go around online 16 seconds, it's not a realistic expectation. It's businesses want to feel they need to build trust in you, and they want to check out that you're actually really got their best interests at heart, and you need to demonstrate that. And I want to give you or share with you a live example that happened just recently. I was searching for, and I'll take you now on a little journey. I was searching for cowhide rugs. I've wanted one for a while. And I remember about 18 months ago, there was a company that I'd found, and it was in the top first page here, that I'd contacted, and we'd emailed a few times and everything, and she'd sent me some samples, but I wasn't ready to buy then. And so I went back, 18 months later, expecting to find this particular business on the first page, and I didn't, and I couldn't remember their name. But then I started to have a look at what some of the others are doing. And this is a good example. The one that's in number 1, this site looks really good. So, overall, they're, doing, when I've done an SEO check, because that's what I do when I search myself, and I get an impression, because this was one of the first ones that I went to. And, I'll just share with you some of the experience. Click here for a quote. Oh, there, and then they didn't respond for a week, and then I think I clicked something like that to see what I could see, and it took me to here. And I'm like, okay, where do I start? I wanted to look at rugs, and look at all of that. It's like, hopefully it's coming out on your screen. It's just appalling. And they did have a pop-up box to ask a survey, and I basically answered the survey. It was SurveyMonkey, so I thought somebody's doing online marketing for them. I always go down, if I go back to the main here, this is how, whoops. Oh, there you go. Under construction, I always check to see if there's any listing of name of person that's created their site, if somebody's doing their online marketing. And then I thought, I'll have a quick check if now can I go back? I'm going to have to go back here. See, this is a terrible experience. And I had to actually do this, and this is me as a potential customer. So I couldn't see any, down amongst here, I couldn't see any sign of who actually worked on the site. And so I thought, well, I'll just have a quick look at the view source. So, and then I was looking at this, it's like, wow, that's one hell of a lot of keyword phrases. Misspelling as well, a lot of keyword phrases there. And, for on page, they're if you read Google's recommendations, guidelines, they say do not use this many keyword phrases. And in the title, Google actually says in their guidelines, do not use this many phrases for their title. And I did, more of an SEO check on them, and it's like, these guys, they're doing stuff online, and they're doing, a lot online. They've got this one also, which was just equally as horrendous to go around, is also their site. So what I've done is just the other day, I actually called them, and people asked me about the gatekeeper. Well, they say, oh, it's so hard to get past the gatekeeper. Well, I'm chatting to the gatekeeper, and I'll just go back here. I'm chatting to the gatekeeper, and I just started chatting to her, and I said, oh, look, I'm seeing some things, and I'm a bit concerned for your site. I said, I am an online marketer, but I was also a potential client, customer of you guys. People didn't come back to me in a week, and, I had a little quiz, look around, and I saw that, if anything, you look like you could be over-optimized, and Google's just brought in this thing where they're really punishing people if they are over-optimized, and I'd love to chat to your marketing director. Anyway, I must have said enough language. To me, it's normal to speak. And the woman on the phone said, oh, look, you're talking Japanese. I'll put you through to the CEO. Like this. And so I got put through, voicemail. She said, oh, he's still traveling, but please leave a message with the CEO, and gave me his full name. So that's what I've done. So whether I hear back or not is I'm not particularly worried about it, but it's how I approach things. And here's this other one. The actual person that I bought a cowhide from, so there's 2 stories within this, is Susan and her business. And I found it by going through my old emails, and it was quite a journey to do that. Their website wasn't even in the organic. And at that time, I didn't check the PPC because I'd had this memory that I found them in organic. So I just quickly did a quick little Jing video for them and as for her and sent it through. And so we're, this email here, she's talking about the hide, blah, blah, blah. And this is where I really want you guys to pay attention here, because here she's knocking me back. She says, I'm waiting on comments from my web people, although we're just about to launch a new site, which may not be, why there's not much happening on my current one. That isn't the issue. And she says, I really thank you for your observations. So now I could have done nothing. And again, I'm not thinking I'm trying to win her as a client. I'm actually legitimately concerned, genuinely concerned for her. So I did another Jing video because I'm thinking, well, if her web, she's called them my web people. So she's telling me she's happy with them. But when I did a analysis on her site, from an SEO perspective, it was appalling. So if the web people are about to launch a new site, I guess that they're not going to be doing anything different. It's just going to look different. But on the whole back end or the on page and off page, they're not going to do anything differently. I think it had something like 10 backlinks or something like that. So I created another Jing video for her, and I said, look, and in that Jing video, I said, I hear that you're happy with your web people, which is great, and that you're getting another site created, which is great. I just wanted to take you through this because if they've, and I basically said, because in a nice way, that I want to make sure that they do this or maybe check this with them. And this is the email response I get back. I'll speak to you later, Ari. The website, what's your phone number? So again, it's gone from brushing me off to wanting to call me. So we're setting up a time to speak. Now, whether I win them as a client or not is not my primary focus. Yes, of course, I want that. That's a desired outcome. But I'm really legitimately concerned for her for what she's doing with her business. And this is really how I tend to get clients. It's about value, not about selling. I do not sell my services. I sent her 2 Jing videos, and she brushed me for the second and for the first. And the second, it's like, I'm going to call you. So because I demonstrated value, the second video I used Jing to keep it within the 5 minutes, and the second video was, like 4.5 minutes, where I showed her. And what I did is I compared her to that other cowhide.com.au site, saying how they're doing things right and how she's not in comparison. So then it became not so much about me just telling her stuff. It's like, well, look at you compared to this site, and they're actually doing it right. So I'd say to all of you, never list or sell your services until people ask. And always look to offer value, provide a solution, and educate, inform and educate. That's how you win clients. So it is about a shift from, oh, I hope they like me and I hope they want my services and I really need the money, to, you guys have a really fantastic knowledge base. Even if you've only just started the challenge and you've done it for a week, as Ed said, he's really serious when he says that. You learn so much even in that first week. You will know more than what they do, and you can offer value. And if I could just get everyone to really adopt that attitude that it's about offering value. At the same time, where you don't give it all away, and this is, I suppose, the dance or the balance, that the ultimate aim is to secure them as a customer, as a paid customer. So it is about establishing yourself as the expert, and I think the word expert can freak people out. So let's maybe say a person of knowledge or has knowledge. I'm going to use the word expert because I do see that. We're all, and here's another little thing, online marketing, we're always learning. I'm always learning, I'm always updating. So if any of you think that you reach a point where you're no longer learning, that you know everything, you will never reach that point, as you don't with anything in life. So we're all always learning. You're just at a particular point in your journey, but at least you've started that journey. These businesses haven't even, but they're not interested in it. Why would they be? Because their business is in another area. One of my biggest clients is actually in the technology area. And I thought that they would know more than I do, even about the technology side of computers, and they don't. They know about, I suppose, the hardware, but about how things work and that online. I figured, well, they're pretty clever people, but they have no idea because they've got no interest. And even though they're a technology-based company, I ended up helping them and guiding them, and this will make Ed, Robert, and Nez laugh, with their Gmail and, you know, setting up that. And I'm dealing with their IT person helping them to do that. And I never, ever, ever put myself in a stance that I'm saying I'm an expert in technical things. But we do know stuff, and it's just about leveraging this. So it's remembering you do know more than what they do. And honestly, it sounds like it's an advertisement for the challenge, but the challenge is the best online introductory education you can get, and it's free. And you have to work your way through it, but everything in life takes work. Internet marketers that promise you overnight success for very little work, for things coming really easily, that's marketing. The reality is yes, there can be a time where things seem to come easily, but maybe it's because you're not recognizing the work that you put in behind that. It's like, you know, Hollywood actors and actresses, you know, they laugh. There's no such thing as an overnight success. It's just that when they have success, it seems to be like one day they weren't known and the next day they were. I was reading something about John Hamm, the Mad Men guy. He nearly completely walked away from his acting career because I think he'd been at it for about 15 years and he'd never really got a decent role. And he was just about to quit, and, you know, the roles started to come in. So offline consulting is absolutely not a get-rich-quick scheme. This is about working, and I think working in a way that's really stimulating because you're the business owner, and you know, it's just really exciting to work with clients and help them strategically. So offline consulting is not about magic pills, eggs, wands, or dust, or any sort of that magic stuff. It is a genuine opportunity. There's if we look at the US and just do some figures here, 29.6 million small businesses. If everybody had 10 clients each, there's not 2.9 million local consultants. Australia, 2 million small businesses, there's not 200,000 local consultants. Same goes for Canada, you know, the UK, you know, the rest of the world. There are not, you know, too many local consultants, because I get that comment. It's like, oh, everyone's talking offline consulting, you know, and businesses have been, you know, approached by people. Well, I talk to businesses that have had people working on their business and they're not happy with them, because there's a lot of businesses out there that have, and no, I really have respect for web designers, but I think the web designers we have in our community here have an online marketing understanding. There's a lot of web designers that do not, and they're not even thinking about, you know, SEO or anything like that. They're thinking about creating a really good looking website. And certainly businesses, there's that balance of having something that is attractive as well as having, you know, the meat and potatoes that websites need that you learn in the challenge. Again, just some more stats. Google tells us 1 in every 5 searches is a local search, and I think it's even less than that, or more than that now, I should say. You know, they're mobile friendly. So many sites still do not have mobile friendly sites, so there's a huge opportunity there. And again, how many businesses have a thorough GP listing? Do we even need to go there with the social media presence? And then, you know, back to the beginning, it's like for a while there I went on this little, you know, side journey of, oh, I need to do more of this and that. I'm thinking Google Places and mobile friendly, and all of those are fantastic things to offer clients. But when I was looking at their businesses, it's actually, well, let's go back right to the beginning. Their website needs help. And, you know, there's ways that you can actually create a website on a WordPress, you know, platform, and, you know, have it on the same domain and you know, copy information over and everything like that. So generally with my clients, I do start from scratch with them and create a new website for them. And then the SEO and PPC, are they doing a good job with that? I'd say a lot of times no. Again, there's so much opportunity. It's like, you know, 9 out of 10 times people are not doing it well, even if they are doing it. So I really want you to hear this, that everything is an opportunity. It really is. The only thing that's limiting you is your own self-doubt. And I'm really hoping that you hear what I'm saying in this presentation, that there is a lot of opportunity. This whole thing about getting clients, when you chat to people and you look to help them and you show genuine interest rather than being me, and I hope they like me and hope they hire me, you'll find it a lot easier to get clients. Also, when you manage your expectations and you recognize that they're not likely to turn around and go, oh wow, you're fantastic, in that first conversation. I gave that example. It was purely by email, and they're based way over in Perth, and they knocked me back, and now we're getting a call scheduled. Whether the CEO from another company calls me, another thing. If I was to take them as a client, I'd take first and best dressed. I'd only have take one in that particular industry, and that tends to be what I do for clients. So in both of those, my biggest client is a national based Australian company, so I still call that a local business because they're a small to medium sized business, but their target's Australia wide, and this business is also a national type. So when I talk local, I'm talking about local to a specific area, and I'm talking about local as far as it could be say to the state, a particular state in the US or Canada or in Australia, or a region in the UK, and it can be local as in your local area. A lot of my clients don't live around me, so that's not another barrier to success. If you're in a small area, you can work on clients that are even out of the country for you. The main thing is that you have a focus to help them, their business from a local perspective, whether that's local national or local as in specific to one area. And the great thing is that you can outsource all of it. So you can use your knowledge to know what to do and what to brief. Now, I'm a big fan, as I said before, of outsourcing because it's just a better business model. It means that you would have heard, it's better to work on the business than in the business. So you can focus on offering your clients strategic solutions. And again, you have the knowledge now to offer them strategic solutions. And you can get someone else to do the work, and then you project manage that. So you manage the client, you manage the developer, and you bring it all, whether it's somebody doing design or whatever element of it is, you manage them, you work with the client, you bring it all together, and you also have the time to build your business and get new clients in. So really, local businesses need your help. There's poor or non-existent digital marketing. These are just some examples. I think that was in the yellow pages online, and the number of sites. I just went to I think building contractors, and these ones, none of them have websites. Now, building contractor, I picked them because I'm thinking of building contractor, value per customer. Well, even a renovation, we must well be running into tens of thousands of dollars, more than that, high tens of thousands of dollars, hundreds of thousands of dollars, and so forth. So I'm always thinking that way. Here, again, this one was mortgage. I think it's mortgage brokers. Just a horrendous site there. And again, I was thinking of value per customer, because a mortgage broker, high value per customer to them. An accountant, that's a website. There's so much opportunity there. So my question to you is, who would like to get paid to train? We can just have a show of yes. Oh, I like that. Yes, yes, yes. Me! I like that, Dan. Definitely. Fantastic. Get rid of this. It's going to pop back. What if you were shown how to do it? Exactly how to do it. How to take your base knowledge and translate that into what a local business needs. And you get paid for that. Would that be worth it to you? So you can go out there and you can do it yourself. Like we said to begin with, you have, you've gone a certain degree through the challenge. You might have done it several times. You may just be starting, but you have knowledge. So you can go out there now and get a client if you feel confident enough to do that. Nothing is out there to stop you. I've given you some, I think, solid ideas. This is based on me being out there, working with businesses, working with other people, that you can offer them. You don't have to worry about knowing the whizziest strategies. I do not offer SMS marketing now. Other people can do that. My business is really focused on creating a business that has long-term clients where you are building the solid gold standard foundations, the website, the Google Places listing, you know, imperative for a local business, the mobile friendly, possibly a blog, social media presence, LinkedIn presence, things like that, doing their on-page optimization, off-page optimization, PPC and so forth. That's what I focus my business on. I've decided that people that want to do the game-changing strategies or these SMS type things, which I think is fantastic, but I just don't want to do that myself. I think that's a different business model. It's, to me, it's not so much churn and burn, because you don't want to burn, but it's more quick turnaround for me. And I suppose I'm sharing what I really believe in is a more solid business model for people, is that, you know, frankly, there's more money in it for you to do that. It's higher end, and it's also safer and less risky for you because you're doing things that are based on the gold standard. So I'd like you to grab a pen and paper, please.
I've got an iPad. Is that all right?
What was that, Ed? You've got one? Good.
I've got an iPad. Is that all right?
Yeah, an iPad's okay. All right. Smarter. Smarty pants. Okay, could you close your eyes?
There's a lot of New Zealanders on the call too, I've got to say, Caro. I've been making sure they've been well looked after in the chat room, so I just wanted you to know.
Oh, thanks. Kia ora.
Yeah.
That's about as far as
we've been looking after them, the Kiwis. They're feeling a lot of love right now.
I have to say, I was a bit bummed out that the Kiwi couple got kicked out earlier in my kitchen rules, because I thought they were really good. So
very good at lamb.
Okay, so close your eyes, and what I want you to hear this question: what do you want to achieve financially for yourself? And I'd like you to write down what that figure is. Whatever that is. So I really want you to get conscious of what it is that you want to achieve financially for yourself for the rest of 2012 and onwards. So you can do it like what you'd like to be earning per year, per month, whatever. I'm not putting any limits on that, but just I want you to put some numbers down. Okay, so just to ask if you can just put in the chat, who thinks that they can achieve that with what they're doing now? If they stay doing exactly the same thing? No, 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 okay. So, there we go. Move this out. What if local consulting was the way to do it for you? It certainly has been the way for me to do it. You know, I'm not going to go into details, but I had a bit of a, as the Queen said, anus horribilis year last year, and I had to, you know, pull some rabbits out of the hats and things out of my rear end and so forth. And my solution was to really get back into local consulting because I'd stepped away from it on a day-to-day level. And, you know, I can tell you that 46,000 in, you know, that amount of time with that client, that was a godsend. So I know that if anybody's listening to me now and your back's against the wall, I was there last year. My back, after feeling like I was on the road to Damascus and, you know, that life was going as I wanted it to, I was hit with a pretty nasty curveball, and it had a huge ramification on me financially, and I had to start from scratch again. So I know what it's like to be there and to feel like your back's against the wall or in a situation that you don't like. And so I really had to test it out for myself. And I, you know, what is it? Put your mouth where, whatever the phrase is. I basically got out there, got my rear end out there, and I secured myself clients. And I had to balance that that nagging fear of, oh my God, you know, if I don't, I might not be able to pay my rent and so forth. So I had to balance that and do as I've suggested to you, that my focus was on helping them as opposed to, oh my God, I really need you to pay me. So I really know firsthand that local consulting can be, and there is no limit to what you can earn as you're the boss. So it really comes down to what your beliefs are, what your limitations are. So I want to show you how to do, you know, how to be a profitable local consultant with, you would have seen this all through the presentation, Online Local Hero, and it's offline consulting. I've called it business in a box because I believe it's a full solution. Because what I saw was a major gap was that would-be consultants didn't know how to actually be a local consultant and what to actually offer the client. So I had people that I was working with and they were saying, oh, yeah, I want to, you know, I really want to do consulting. And I just saw this huge glaring gap that when it came to what to actually offer the client, they had a brick wall. And it's like, yes, they'd done the challenge, they had some internet marketing experience, but they still didn't feel that confidence of what to offer the client. And also understanding what's different for local versus niche marketing, because there is a difference. There is a, it's not a difficult difference, it's just recognizing there is a difference. And also how to do the work from a perspective that I really encourage you that ideally you do not do it yourself. I also identified people having challenges with how to get clients, how to initiate the conversation with prospects before their clients, how to approach them, what to say, how to demonstrate, you know, value, what that actually can look like, and how to convert them to a paid client, which is ultimately what you're there for. So with Online Local Hero, offline consulting business in a box, it's a complete offline consulting training system, and I really want to push home is it's gold standard. It's as per Google, Facebook, Twitter, YouTube, etc. terms and conditions. There is nothing that's like a dynamic game-changing strategy or anything like that. So that makes it easier for you guys. It's just really how I go about it with clients, and I do really pay attention to this part. And I also don't freak out when there's changes, because the one constant in life, but particularly even more so on the online, is change. And when you do the gold standard, when you have that approach, yes, you might have to tweak things to change, but you don't need to panic. So it's a long-term approach for long-term businesses. This means less risk for you of screwing up, and you're also not putting their businesses at risk. Now, if you are somebody that really does love to fly by the seat of your pants and want the dynamic strategies, then this isn't going to be for you. I'll be really upfront about this. This is not about trying to break any rules or bend anything or that. This is about putting a smile on Serge and Larry's face, putting a smile on Mark's face, and so forth. As if they know I exist, but anyway. So it teaches you what businesses need. Again, that phrase, grassroots for local businesses. It teaches you how to be the consultant and also how to manage your client, because this is really important. I see people and they go into that, again, that fear, almost making yourself less than. And it's not about being arrogant to the other, you know, to go into the other extreme, but it is about you stepping into yourself as the adult that you are, and also knowing that you are their equal. They have expert knowledge in their business, and you always respect that and defer to that, and you're the expert in your field. And you learning how to do this so that you're not held responsible for the changes that Google are guaranteed to make. Because I've spoken to people and they're worried about, you know, if a site you know, seems to fall from the rankings or something like that. It just needs to be addressed. It's like it could be because of a change. Google often don't forewarn us of changes that they're making. We need to discover it, but everything is surmountable. Like, you know, it's just a case of learning to ride the wave that Google's, you know, now created for us. But always as a consultant, it's like you are the person that they can trust to be that intermediary between, say, Google, them and Google, or them and Facebook. And, there's been these changes with timeline. So clients come to you for knowledge and, information, and they trust that you have their business at, their best interests at heart. So it teaches you both what to do. And here's the thing, my style is very much about, I want you to trust your own powers of assessment. So I think that this training course both shows you what to do based on how I approach it, but I think you'll also find it really liberating, because I do want to encourage you to trust your own powers of assessment and recognize that with local businesses, it's not cookie cutter, it's a big picture. So with every business, every prospect, you really need to look and think about that business and where's it based and who's it targeted and so forth. So I cover all of that off in the training system in a way that you'll see that you can unshackle your own chains that you may have around you about fear and doing it right, that all you need to do is, again, focus on their business, find as much information as you can about them, and I walk you through all of what you need to find out about their business so that you can offer good recommendations, strategically sound recommendations based on what you know of how things work online. So it's really a marriage of recognizing their situation. You have the knowledge of how it works online, and you put the two together. So I really hope that, I believe in this training system, it will empower you, it will liberate and empower you, as well as teaching you what to do. Because I want you to be able to walk away and not need me, essentially, and have your own business. Even you may see my style, you might think, oh gosh, Carrie seems very relaxed there. That's just probably reflective of my style, but I'm still always thinking and that, but I have my own style. You will have your own style, and that's great. So you will learn the basics here of how to approach it, and then put that in your style. If you're a list maker and so forth, and you like things nice and neatly filed, great, that's your style. But you'll still learn a lot from this training program. You'll receive how to do the keyword research for local and national businesses, and competitive research for local and national businesses. So whilst it uses a challenge training from as a platform, it has the skew of how I do it for local and national businesses. And I've used free keyword tools there, so that I love Market Samurai and I use Market Samurai a lot, but I've also done this training so that you don't feel compelled to have to use any particular tool, because there's many ways to do things. It's just Market Samurai does make it incredibly quick and easy, but you can also do it the free manual way as well. With the website, actually what to offer a local client, and how to brief the client, what the brief should look like exactly. You get a template on that, and then the brief to the client and the outsourcer and how I approach that. Also mobile friendly, choosing templates, briefing developers, client blog. Pretty much when you've done the website, the rest of this follows quite nice and easily. So it's, and if you are doing just mobile friendly, well, you'd borrow a lot from what I teach in the website portion. There's a bonus training of a part that I just love and adore, and that's helping your client with their branding and logo. That doesn't need to, freak you out. As far as myself, drawing, I'm still drawing stick figures. But I do have an app.
Sorry, what was that you said there, Caro? Sorry, what was
Sorry?
that? What do you draw in? Sorry, I didn't quite get that.
Stick. Did I say stick figures?
Is that what you said? Stick figures. Okay, I'm just checking. Thank you.
Why? What did you think I said, Ed?
It sounded like stuck figures to me, but
oh.
Keep moving.
Go. New Zealanders think I sound Australian, so.
That's all right. The New Zealanders are feeling a lot of love in the chat room. It's great. They're loving it.
I'm actually an Aussie, so it's New Zealand by birth, Australian by choice, and I love both countries. So yeah, so the logo. Branding and logo, fun part, something that a lot of clients, you'll actually see a lot of clients will need help, and it's very easy for you to help them with it. It's not difficult. You don't need to be a graphic designer yourself. Google Places, doing it Google's way. Again, Google Places is not rocket science. And the way I do it is very much as per the terms and conditions. But I see a lot of people don't even do that. A lot of people don't even take the time to read them and then filling it out as, you know, as you're instructed to do it. Facebook fan page, doing it Facebook's way. I've got videos on the changes with timeline and what that means as far as opportunities. Twitter, well, you know what comes next as far as which way I do Twitter. So again, all of these parts for you guys are really quite easy with Facebook. It's like how you can create promotions. You don't have to worry about, you can outsource getting things created and allow yourself to have, you know, creative ideas. And I teach you my nifty knack of how I do it. And you'll be quite surprised how easy it really is. It might be like, oh, I never thought of that. You know, training on SEO for local, PPC for local. LinkedIn marketing, which is really perfect for business-to-business type businesses. I've just recently, you know, discovered LinkedIn marketing, and you know, to do a complete LinkedIn marketing campaign for my client, I think I billed that or invoiced that for around about 8 or 10,000. I think there might have been a few other bits and pieces in that. So, you know, again, invoice them for that. You know, this particular client, I helped them, you know, with all their branding. I even, you know, very easy, another little tip, Vistaprint. I just created their business cards for them on Vistaprint and got them mailed to their, you know, got the client to approve the mock-ups and then got them all done. You know, very easy. So you charge on that. I didn't charge them extra for the cost of Vistaprint, the printing, but I charged them for my time to do that. So again, another opportunity there for you guys. There is so much you can do for clients when you become that trusted expert for them. You'll receive training on outsourcing, on developing your own team, you know, sources of outsourcers, briefing the outsourcer, managing them, and also fees. I'll be sharing with you fees with regards to what I recommend you charge for, you know, all elements of what you could offer a client. Now, again, as far as charging, it's a balance of both what's market rates and also what you're comfortable with. I say to my clients that I'm higher end, and I am comfortable with that because I have that value for what I do and because I really care and really get involved. And my client knows that, like, I don't work weekends for my client, but they can email me and, you know, just to do a little thing for them, and I'll do it, you know, at no charge because I'm doing so much for them and I'm getting paid well. So, you know, I invoice well, and then I'm also happy to do lots of little extras for them. I ended up doing a presentation for them, a PowerPoint presentation. And I decided, given I'd just invoiced them, I think for, can't remember, it was either 10 or 12 or something like that for a major thing that I'd done for them. So, and they said, oh, please help me with my presentation. And I thought about it, I thought, no, I'm not going to bill this. And so I let them know that the value for that is normally around, I can't remember, I said either 12 or 1,500 to create a PowerPoint from scratch and do all the slides and also, you know, gather the content. So, you know, I did that for nothing, but I still put a value for it. There is just so much that you can end up doing for your client that you may not even be thinking about. Sure, any of you could put together a PowerPoint presentation, but you'd be surprised by the number of clients that actually can't. You'll receive how to approach clients or how to approach prospects and clients, you know, both of them, they're two different entities, but also how to approach that, how to convert clients, and key, how to demonstrate value. How to create a proposal, including templates. Like, I really enjoy the proposal stage. It's something I get a lot of pleasure out of creating, and it takes, you know, a good amount of time because I put a lot of, you know, effort into it, and that's what I'd encourage you to as well. Even if they don't become a client, it's going to give you good training, because if they don't buy what you're offering, if they don't sign up, well, you know, it's going to give you good ideas of how to approach it for the next person, how to upsell a client. Like, I've ended up, you know, and some of the things that I've offered some of my clients, they may not take up, but I remember one client I was chatting to, And we were going to do this. We were going to do this major big brand manual, and so I, got a quote ready and everything like that. And it was for a good amount because it was a big project. And then they said, "Oh, look, I don't want to go ahead with that." So I didn't flinch, and I'm chatting to them and everything. And then when I'm talking to them, it's like, oh, you don't have a came to us and said, "Oh, do you have a marketing plan?" Thinking that they must have somewhere, one that they're not using, and they said no. And so they decided they really wanted a marketing plan, so I'm now doing that for them. So that's actually not an online thing, but it all came from, doing their online marketing first. In a purest sense, I should have started with a marketing plan, but that's not what they first wanted me for. And so we are doing a little bit ass about face, but still, it's a good job to get. So you'll also learn what to charge clients and how to be confident with your own abilities. And I think most importantly, and this is really important to me for you guys, because this is what I actually see as the biggest barrier to success. And I really believe this training course will give you the confidence to succeed. Because when you see how, I suppose, easy it is and how I approach things, always with the focus on the client, but I'm not stressed about it, and I'm not like, oh my God, it's rigid and it's got to be X, Y, Z. I'm always thinking about the business and how it fits into the bigger picture and so forth. It is really liberating. And you guys have, fantastic base training. You have the foundations. So everything that I have in this training is based on how I run my offline consulting business. And, I'd suggest that it's a successful offline consulting business. So I would like to see that for other people. And if people say, well, why are you doing this? It's because there's so much business out there. And, one of my passions actually is teaching and helping people. I'm helping people as far as clients, but I come across too many fantastic people in our industry, online marketing industry, that just aren't really making it yet. And you guys have the knowledge. You know how to. It's just if you sign up with this course and it actually is what it takes to get you to get it out there, then I am delighted. I would like you to be doing better than I am. And I'm sure some of you will. And I just really want to see people take action, because you've spent this time. You've got yourself online and you've done it because you want to get out of the situation you're in now. Well, this is a really viable way to do it. And if you're worried about you've got a 9-to-5 job, well, you put in the hours after that job. That's what I've done when I have changed careers. I, did some silly things hour-wise because I really wanted what it was that I wanted to move towards. So you need to be able to be prepared to put that time in. And if you're concerned about time zones and that, go for a client in an area that's a better time, that suits if you have to work at 7 o'clock at night. Doesn't matter. There's always ways around it. There needs to be no barrier to your success. So, offline consulting, business in a box. The value of all this training, which is really designed to help you build your profitable local consulting business. So this is about you building your business. The value of this is $2,997. Now, I know that that's not achievable for most people, even with a payment plan. So the investment today is $997, but then I've rethought that and had a chat to Ed, and that should actually have a line through it, and PowerPoint didn't do that, so I'll just go back. Love your PowerPoint. Is $497. So that's what the cost is for today.
Hey everybody, Ed here, and I hope you enjoyed that webinar, and I hope you had the opportunity to open your eyes to something that I really consider a real business.
That's me.
The reason I consider it a real business is there's no arbitrage, there's no fakery, there's no...
Ed, are you still there?
Yeah, I'm still here. You're playing me on video. That's
I know, I don't know what the hell happened there. For a minute there, I thought it was so quiet. I thought, oh God, my internet connection's gone down again. But fortunately, it hasn't. It's just because I like to hear your voice, Ed. I was missing you. Okay, so it's $4.97 today. And you just need to go here, Online Local Hero. If you go, so that's ONLINE, localhero.com. And sign up. And for those of you that sign up, there is a bonus, complimentary one-on-one 30-minute consulting session for all fully paid up customers. For those of you that are fully paid up after 30 days. So this is for the people that are really real about this, because I want to help those that are really committed to making this happen for themselves. So I want to offer you a 30-minute consulting session, and that has a value of $500. My consulting rate is $1,000 an hour now. So I will spend on Skype 30 minutes with you, helping you, answering any questions you have about your own consulting business, and that will happen for each and every one of you after the 30 days is up. So that's a bonus, and yeah, it's I really, really want you guys to make it happen. So, you know, hopefully you'll join us. Online Local Hero.
All right. So, what's that?
I must have clicked on that link by accident last time. And that's
You
why
did.
I ended up hearing you.
Yeah, that's exactly right.